So we've managed to grab the timing screens, and it is, of course, I'll run through the order for you now. Keith Dempsey on pole position by 0.3 of a second over Colin Bays, which is a very, very small margin around a circuit this long. David Yamamoto 346.37, 700ths of a second behind Colin Bays, and again around such a long circuit like Le Mans, that is incredibly, incredibly close. Niall Quinn in P4, then we had Jordan Kelly P5, Edgaras Rasnauskas in P6, Thomas Series, then Nicky Meredith, Connor Murphy, Adam Dowling, Thomas Sivas, Brandon Nians. Then we have Chris Bays, Marty Moore, Sergey Grabin, and Peter McCann. Rasnauskas, Daniel Simon, James Dowling, Eddie Onley, Regmigas Naviskis, Tony Stack, Nathan Healy, Juzis Zuskauskas, Ian Malone, Benedictus Sinkevicius, Sammy Idrissi, Charlie Eastwood, Stephen Norman, Ronan Haderman, Evan Walsh, Gintar Stepkevasius, Robin Neal, Niall Murray, Joe Montero, David Sheehan, and Jonas Veravicius. So we have about 40 cars on the grid, which is a lot of cars to send around the track. But it is going to be great to see all these cars being sent around this beautiful circuit here in France. So here we are. There is Keith Dempsey on the front row alongside Colin Bays. So what's going to happen is there is a rule in effect. Once the safety car comes in, usually the guys will gun it, but because we've got so many cars to deal with today, they are not allowed to overtake until they are past the start-finish line. And especially for the ones further down the order. So if you see guys potentially like, we'll go back to the back, you can see David Sheehan all the way down the back. He won't be able to overtake until he gets past the start-finish line. And the leaders could be up in turn 1 by the start of that, so there's plenty to come. But it is the biggest field of cars we have seen in VRA, and I for one am hoping that it's going to be one hell of a spectacle. So we're getting set, we're getting ready to go very shortly. Safety car rolling, getting ready, of course. Here we go. Porsche safety car will lead GTE, BMW and the Ferrari. So we've got a Ferrari and a BMW and a Ferrari and a BMW, and away goes the safety car. Keith Dempsey leads them away then. So of course we're not doing the full formation lap here. A short portion of the lap before we get to the start of this race, because it would take possibly 6 to 7 minutes to get a full formation lap going right here. It is going to be a great race, I hope. We'll just get a shot if we can over the top, and you can see just the level of cars, how many cars we've got right here, right in front of us, spread out all over the place. So here we go, they're just coming through the Porsche curves now, which is a very, very demanding part of the track, especially for these particular cars. And of course, they don't have the downforce of the LMPs, Le Mans prototypes, so they're going to struggle to get through there. But we're going to get underway very, very shortly indeed. There's Keith Dempsey just leading the way, Colin Bays, David Yamamoto, Niall Quinn, Jordan Kelly, all of VRA regulars. GTE Pro Championship. I believe we only have one Ford on the grid today with us, and that is James Holman at P19. So fair play to him for choosing something different. Now we're getting ready to go. Le Mans, the opening round of the VRA GTE Pro Championship. It's the pinnacle in the Virtual Race Academy's racing calendar and of the series, of course. Of course, have the set of course a GT Cup as well, but this is what we've been waiting for a long time. Keith Dempsey now waiting. Safety car is peeled in, but he controls the pace in through the Corvette and Ford chicanes. Getting ready to go, still controlling the pace in through the last chicane, which is the Ford chicane. Getting ready to go, can't go until they cross the start finish. And away we go with the VRA GTE Pro Championship. Keith Dempsey has got an amazing start. Quinn behind him, up towards turn 1. Jordan Kelly looking like he's going to have a go maybe on Niall Quinn, he looks to the outside line to turn 1. Can Jordan Kelly pull that off? Would have been very brave in the opening lap. You can see drivers making moves head to toe down here. Oh, there's a spinner already, and I believe that is Brad who's gone off in turn 1. It has been him indeed. Looks like he's got just a little spin on there. They've all got through unscathed so far, no major incidents. Just grabbed a little spin right there, but Keith Dempsey got the jump that he needed to get. Everybody respected the rule, and they have got underway very, very nicely. So there's Charlie Eastwood in the middle of the pack right there, just getting an idea of the size of this field. He's in P32. We've got 41 cars on the grid. He's got a lot of cars to pass. He wants to get himself up through this field, and he's actually, I believe, going to get passed now by Stephen Norman, one of the new boys in P32 there. We'll see plenty of action throughout the field, and you can see right trying to make themselves way through the field here, just looking at one of the that is Linas Petvicius trying to make something work right here. Right there. Through they go. Olivier Van Herk is following him as well. There's a lot followed. There's a lot of style throughout this race. Noel Murray making moves past Evan Walsh down the back here. Let's keep an eye on the front. We'll of course jump back to the front now and see Pete Dempsey leading the pack right there from Colin Bays and David Yamamoto and Niall Quinn, all still very close together. 45 minutes of this race to go. Now we're just going to see, I believe that is Jordan Kelly trying to make a move on Niall Quinn around the outside. No, it isn't actually. Niall Quinn on David Yamamoto, excuse me, trying to make a move right there. Indianapolis, fast right-hander. No moves up front just yet. Everybody remaining where they started, but we've got a massive line of cars right here. Let's head up towards Indianapolis. Colin Bays, I think, is tempted to make a move right here. He's on the back of Keith Dempsey coming down towards Indianapolis. I don't think he's going to try anything right here. It's a very tricky place to make a move through Indianapolis. Onto the brakes and continuing through. Very hard place to make a move right there. No moves in the back either. Just keeping an eye further down the field as well. Everybody remaining where they are. But everybody remaining line astern right here. Just keep an eye as well. David Yamamoto looking pretty racy behind Colin Bays. See if he can make any moves past him. They're sticking quite close together. Niall Quinn just kind of has a nice gap, just some clean. Through the Porsche curves they come for the first time, and no major incidents, which is what we like to see. So continuing through, Niall Quinn going a bit wide there. Sorry, that was David Yamamoto going a bit wide through the exit of the Porsche curves. Behind him, Jordan Kelly latching onto the back of them as well, as is Edgaras Vasnauskas in the back. And you just see Niall Quinn having a go around the outside of the Ford chicanes. That's a great move from him right there, opportunistic. Oh, that's a spinner. That's a spinner. That's David Yamamoto into the wall in the last corner. That's a shame for him. Just lost it on the curb. His run was compromised through the Corvette chicane right there. Lost the position to Niall Quinn. Spun the car on the curb. What a real shame for him. He drops down to P13, holds on to it for now. But Niall Quinn picked up the pieces right there. Just keeping an eye in the background. That is Peter McCann trying to have a look. Can't quite get it to work. Agnauskas behind him, and there goes Peter McCann. Looks like a slowdown for one of those cars out for Van Herk. James Holman in the only Ford on the grid right there. He is in P18, so he's made good tracks right there. It's not a bad job from him. Back to the front. Keith Dempsey has built that gap now. Colin Bays has gone with him, so he's not letting go of the back. And you can see Niall Quinn now just dropped back a little bit after that little bit of an incident there. Denying the back as well. Thomas Sybas and I believe just Adam Dowling in the background. You see Sybas trying to make a move on Conor Murphy. Into the chicane right there. There is in the background Chris Bays and Marty Moore going at it here. Through they go. That's Chris Bays and Adam Dowling, excuse me. Adam Dowling's just in the background. You just see in the background of you can see the amount of cars that we have coming. You can see there is a big split in the field already. And you got this little fight here, Tony Stack, Ian Malone and Niall Murray. You can just about see the car of Tony Stack behind Ian Malone's car as they squabble for position right here in the mid-20s. 5 minutes gone of this race, we're a lap and a half into it. Nobody trying anything too stupid just yet. In through the chicane they go. Just seeing Davy Yamamoto as he dropped back even further. He's trying to make his way back through. He's side by side with Sergei Grabin as they come into Arnage, and he's come past him onto the brakes. So up to the front, you can just see Colin Bays. He's sticking right with Keith Dempsey here as they come through. I think going to be the battle of the race right here. Colin Bays and Keith Dempsey. Sergei Grabin, Davy Yamamoto, you can just see they're swapping positions right there further down. In the background, that might be the battle for P6. That looks like it is. And that is, Jordan Kelly and Thomas Sears going very close together right there to the right-hander. How that didn't end in contact, I don't know, but great driving from the both of them. So, continuing on up towards the Porsche curves. Side by side they go. Great driving from them. Thomas Series makes his way through, trying to get latch onto the back of Jordan Kelly as well, but he's also got to keep Conor Murphy and Thomas Seabass behind them as well. So lots of work to do for these guys. So up through the Porsche curves once again. You can just see Edgars Vaznauskas leads this train from Jordan Kelly, from Thomas Sears, Conor Murphy and Thomas Seabass right there. So this is a great little scrap they're having with Sergei's leading them away. Leaders within about 0.2 of a second of each other. The top three within about 1/10 of each other, all lapping in the 347s. Keith Dempsey and Colin Bays almost identical on pace. So continuing on, you can just see Sergei, that was taking a bit of grass right there. I think he survived. But he continues to circulate. On the back of those guys as well, you can just see, actually that was a mistake from Jordan Kelly. So now Thomas Seabass trying to have a look on Conor Murphy. Does he have speed in the Porsche? He pulls to the inside. He should be able to make this move into the chicane. Pulls to the inside. Conor Murphy on the outside should be able to get on the brakes. Waiting for it here. Onto the brakes they go. Porsche on the inside. Gonna fight it. Almost a little bit of contact right there, but Thomas makes his way through into P6. And now Jordan Kelly gonna pick up the pieces from Conor Murphy as well. Lost the momentum through that chicane. So he's gonna get the side draft. It'll turn to the inside for the next chicane. Does he quite have the speed? Because Conor Murphy's getting the slipstream off of the Porsche in front of him, and as you can see, not able to get in front of the Ferrari. He might have another go here in towards the chicane. Not going to try it there. So now, if possible, there you can see Colin Bays latched onto the back of Keith Dempsey's BMW. Can't even see him behind. And coming up towards Indianapolis, Colin is absolutely on the back of him right here. This is the view from Colin Bays' car. You can see how wide that BMW is in front of him. He's getting a great slipstream right here. He might be able to make the move here, but as you can see, he's having to back off because there is absolutely no room to work with up this back straight through Indianapolis. You can see how much Colin's having to hang back here, saving the tyres. But he's really had to back off there. And when a car as wide as the BMW, it's very difficult to make a move. But in the background, with Razanauskas in the back, and then you can see this battle of Thomas Series, Conor Murphy, Thomas Seabees and Jordan Kelly right here, and you can see Porsche is trying to think about a move on the Ferrari. It looks to the inside towards the Porsche curves. Up the inside, going to think about it. Brave move, not going to be able to do that there. So 11 minutes gone in this race. Still plenty of action to go. Battle up front is certainly not easing up, but this battle certainly isn't either. There's battles throughout the field. Do our best to keep up with it the best we can. The defence from the Ferrari right there. Porsche moves to the outside. Stubborn defence from Conor Murphy right there. Oh, that's a spin for Conor Murphy in the final chicane. Off he goes. Thomas Seamus has to take to the inside. He won't have to give a position back or anything. That's going to cost him a lot of momentum. And Jordan Kelly might be able to make a move right here. You can just see, just dropped it on the way out of the chicane, trying to keep that Porsche behind him. Wasn't going to work, and there's the run for Jordan Kelly out of the first chicane. Great run from the Ferraris on the inside now, picking up the outside line. The Porsche will have the inside for the next corners. They're still side by side. Jordan Kelly come around the outside. Thomas Seamus holding it on the inside, and Jordan Kelly should get ahead right there. And oh, Thomas Seamus is off the road, so he's lost it, trying to keep it behind. Adam Dowling has to take some avoiding action, and off he goes again. Thomas Seamus loses it on the way onto the back straight. That's a bad place to lose it. Manages to get going again, but two drivers spinning after being in a battle with each other, and that's going to cost him a huge amount of time down the straight. Go back to the front, and you can just see Keith Dempsey has built a small gap over Colin Bays. So that might just be Colin just picking up some clean air. He's been running in that dirty air for a while. Back here you just see Marty Moore, Dave Yamamoto and Adam Dowling battling it out here. There's Marty moving to the outside. You can see Adam Dowling trying to make his way past as well. Might get past 2 in 1 here. He's on the back of Dave Yamamoto as well. Moves to the inside for this next chicane. Going to get it stopped on the brakes. Still on the inside as they come towards the chicane, side by side, Ferrari and Porsche. Will he get it stopped in time? Goes on the brakes. Ferrari trying to hang around the outside. Great braking from David Yamamoto to keep that ahead. So late on the brakes to keep that one ahead. Doesn't compromise his exits either. Great car placement. But Adam's going to have another go, I think. Certainly going to have another go. Pulls to the inside again. Get this move done this time. He's on the inside for this next corner. David Yamamoto again sweeps around the outside, keeps himself ahead. Parks his car on the exit. And now Marty Moore can get himself involved, trying to get past the Porsche here. Great little scrap going on here. So now you can see Marty Moore on the outside of Adam Dowling as they head down towards Indianapolis. It's going to be brave stuff from Marty Moore if he can hang it around the outside of Indianapolis. Here they come towards Indianapolis anyway. It'll switch to the inside now. He backs out of that one. He knows well. And they continue on. Up front you can see the gap sitting at about a second. Not going up, not going down. Niall Quinn's about 5 seconds back. Did that look like a mistake from Niall Quinn? I think it was a mistake from Niall Quinn, because Razanauskas has come to within a second of him now. Just saw a bit of tyre smoke. Looked like it was Niall Quinn running a bit wide. And Razanauskas is now striking this, and Colin Bays has had an error. Colin Bays has dropped back from the lead. That looks like a mistake on the exit of the Porsche curves, and that's a disaster for Colin Bays. Loses second place to Niall Quinn and third to Razanauskas. Simple spin trying to keep the pace with Keith Dempsey, and now drops to P4. And Keith Dempsey now a comfortable gap out front. Can Colin Bays come back at Razanauskas now towards turn 1? Not quite going to be able to do it there. On the exit, can Colin get the drive he needs? He should be able to have a go further down the straight. See, he's got about a 7-second gap over Niall Quinn, but he's comfortably out in front at this point. Niall Quinn there with Razanauskas and Colin Bays behind him. Now he should be able to get the slipstream. Should Colin, heading towards the next chicane. Here he comes. Razanauskas defends the inside, so Colin to the outside line for the next chicane. Can he get it stopped around the outside? They'll switch to the inside for the midway through the chicane. Can he get it stopped? Yeah, he does even before the chicane, so he's in ahead once again into P3. Runs a bit wide on the exit, but should get away with that one. And now he goes chasing Niall Quinn again. Just in the background, you can just see Adam Dowling and Davey Yamamoto still fighting it out here for P8. So Dowling and Yamamoto having a great old scrap right here. Yamamoto looks like so you can see Davey Yamamoto managing to make the move past. You can see Davey Yamamoto getting past Adam Dowling right there. Should see Marty Moore as well with Sergei Grabin behind him. So plenty of scraps happening throughout the field. You'll see now Sergei Grabin moving to the inside. Swing to the outside for this next corner. That's a brave move on the outside from Sergei Grabin. Makes it work on Marty Moore. Just see him locking up through there, so that'll give Marty Moore the drive down towards Indianapolis. Not a lot of space to work with here though. So you can just see, there's a car running wide in the background, one of the Ferraris. Just see that might have been Sami Idrisi. And here comes Marty Moore towards Indianapolis. Can he sweep around the outside of Indianapolis this time? It's going to be a tough ask, and again he backs out. Just see this Niall Murray, you can just see Sami Idrisi just ran wide, and he's now trying to come back at Niall Murray around the outside of Indianapolis. Niall's going to stick that one to him up the inside, and he sticks ahead now. Now that this train considers Sami Idrisi. Oh, there's a big accident right there. That was Daniel Steeman, and who else was that? I believe, trying to pick out who it was. It's Connor Murphy's hit the wall hard right there with Daniel Steeman. What a shame for him. Looks like contact made on the exit of Indianapolis. Conor Murphy's gone into that wall hard. That puts Niall Murray up into P13, battling with Sami Idrisi right here and Olivier Van Herk behind him. But so that little mistake from Sami has put him behind. He's now got to try and get back past once again. Meanwhile, up front, Keith Dempsey leading by 7.3 seconds over Niall Quinn, and Colin Bays, how close is he to Niall Quinn? He's actually on the back of him once again. So you can see Colin's got the pace. He'll be ruining that mistake because he's right on pace with Keith Dempsey. But he needs to get past Niall Quinn now, which is not going to be an easy task. He needs to catch him in the right place here. And down towards the back straight here. Onto the brakes he goes, turning in. You just see Sami Idrisi past Niall Murray once again, so they're battling it out. Nicky Merritt at the head of Peter McCann. Eddie Connolly getting past Conor Murphy, who's now in the pits after that damage sustained. Now can Colin get past Niall Quinn is the question. Down towards the second chicane. He'll have to pull to the inside, pulls to the inside. Much of a defence here. Can he get through on the inside? Niall Quinn's more pace in that BMW. Not quite able to. Through the first chicane they go. Needs to drive out of this chicane to line himself up. He's got to watch out for Razanauskas as well, who's right behind him. So continuing on. It's Bayes versus Quinn. 8 seconds up the road is Keith Dempsey, so Bayes needs to get a move on here. There's 25 minutes of this race remaining. Here comes Bayes on the inside, and Niall Quinn finds the space towards the second chicane. Can he get ahead even before the chicane? And he is ahead just about as they head through. And now Niall's got to watch out for Razanauskas, who's right behind him in the Porsche. So Colin has got to try and chase down Keith Dempsey once again. Keep an eye on Razanauskas, who's now got a chance to get past Niall Quinn. This is for the podium positions right here. But again, can Niall come back at Colin is the question as well. Razanauskas moving to the... Make it work right here. I don't think so. Not quite going to be able to do that. And I missed that, but Colin Bayes locking up, going straight on, and drops behind these two once again. So he's really, I think the red mist has descended for Colin Bayes. He's angry with himself and he's making small little errors now. But now Razanauskas got a chance for second place now. Now to the outside to Indianapolis. This is going to be a tough move to make. Can he make it work? Trying it around the outside of Indianapolis. Niall gives him the squeeze. And I don't think he's not going to be able to quite make it work. Good effort from Razanauskas though. Poor exit from him now. Here comes Colin Bayes on the inside, picking it up. Tries to make it work. Razanauskas holds it around the outside once again. Great scrap going on right here. And Razanauskas holds on as they come towards the Porsche curves once again. So this is the battle for the... Right on. Now, further down the order, let's see what we can see. You can see this little battle here. Chris Bayes with Sergei Gravin and Marty Moore battling it out here for the edge of the top 10. Sergei Gravin in P9. Chris now trying to get through to P9, which would be a good result for him. Sergei struggling through the Porsche curves, which is ironic because he's driving a Porsche. So Chris in the Ferrari, and just see back up to the front once again. Razanauskas has made it past Niall Quinn, who's come in for the early stop. So Niall Quinn is in for his pit stop with about 12 minutes remaining. So he is into the pit lane. Back to this battle very quickly. Chris Bayes with a dive on the inside, and off he goes. And he's collected Marty Moore as well. What a shame. Contact made between those two guys as they came through those chicanes. I'm not sure if it was Marty Moore or one of the other Ferraris, but it was certainly a Ferrari involved. Chris Bayes comes in. I think they were both trying to get into the pit lane, locked up and missed it. And in they come. Chris Bayes on his way. Niall Quinn still in his pit box here. On away goes Niall Quinn then, out of his box, and he's on his way again, and he looks like he's got out in nice clean air. Oh, Adam Dowling is off as well, so there's plenty of accidents happening here. Just on the way into the main straight, or the back straight there, Adam Dowling spinning his Porsche into the wall, and that should allow Niall Murray to come through to take P9. Kavicius as well, having a great drive. Sami Idrisi behind him, having great drives, picking up on others' mistakes. How's the only Ford getting on in James Holman? He's in P16, just behind Nicky Meredith. Not doing a bad job at all representing Ford here today. And the only man representing Ford. So we can keep an eye to the front and see if Keith Dempsey is going to come in to the pits, which is a big question because he might have to respond to Niall Quinn. And we know that Keith Dempsey's stops haven't been his strong point. So let's see if he can come back from that. I can see Thomas Series on the back of Colin Bays. So Colin has dropped away from Razanauskas, and he's so this is a good opportunity for him, for Series, to get past into the podium slots for now. In through Indianapolis they come. He chases him. I'm not going to put a move on there, probably just have to wait for a mistake from Colin. On board with Series here as he chases after. That's a mistake up front from Razanauskas. Here comes Colin Bays to try and pick up the pieces here. We'll ride on board. Keep an eye on board with Series here as the battle up front unfolds. Colin Bays trying to get on the outside towards the Porsche curves here. Side by side with the Porsche. Can he make it work? It's a really tough move to make around the outside of the Porsche curves. I don't think he's quite close enough. He's going to try anyway on the outside through the Porsche curves, late on the brakes, trying to sweep around the outside, but Razanauskas has that inside line. Now Series trying to find some space to work with here. Colin Bays a bit shallow through there, so Series continuing to challenge him as they come through the Porsche curves, and nice and close to through the Porsche curves once again. Razanauskas with that little mistake, that little lock-up has now brought these two into play. And a proper chance, and you can see Keith Dempsey is into the pits. Now Razanauskas is going to peel in, Colin Bays is going to peel in, and Thomas Series. This is a battle in the pits between these guys right here. So that'll leave Jordan Kelly in. Everybody is pitting right now in this, about 9 minutes to go in this race. So Keith is trying to respond to Niall Quinn, who is in P18 at the moment, and he's coming through the Porsche curves right now. So let's see if Keith can get himself out in front of Niall. Should be able to, but the gap might be smaller than he thinks. So Keith right here at the very end of the pit lane where his pit box as well as Razanauskas, Colin Bays and Thomas Series. You can see Jordan Kelly coming in as well. Keith Dempsey on his way out. Where's Niall Quinn? Nowhere. Canes at the end of the straight, so there's a big gap in between them. So Keith Dempsey's made that work very nicely indeed, and comes out right here, and you can see Thomas Series jumped them all, comes out in front of Colin Bays and Razanauskas right there. Great job from him. Where does Niall Quinn come out of all this? He comes out behind them all. So Thomas Series has made that very, very nice in the pit lane. Comes out in front of Colin Bays and Razanauskas. So Razanauskas is the big loser in all of that one. That little lock-up cost him a lot of time. But it is still Keith Dempsey out front. So Keith Dempsey with about 17 minutes of this race still to go. Comfortably leading out front by a gap of nearly 12 seconds over Thomas Series in a genuine P2. 3, Razanauskas in P4, Niall Quinn now P5, Jordan Kelly P6, David Yamamoto is P7, but he's right with Jordan Kelly, as you can see. Sergei Gravim is behind in P8, Benedictas Sinkevicius in P9, Marty Moore in P10, Niall Murray in P11, Petkevicius in P12, and Adam Dowling, Thomas Sivas, Sami Idrisi, Nicky Meredith, Peter McCann just swapping positions with the Ford right there. P18 for James Holman, Olivier Van Herk in P19, Chris Bays in P20, Talas Aganauskas, and you just see up ahead there is a hell of a scrap going on up here. Lots of these cars have come out with each other. Sami Idrisi on the back of Thomas Sivas. Petkevicius has made a mistake right there that might allow Sivas to come through, and looks like he has done. It's Sami Idrisi now right on the back of him too. So the pit stop has created all this battling. So Petkevicius, and he's got ahead. Now Petkevicius is now trying to make his way past Thomas Sivas as well, as is Sami Idrisi. And I believe he's just got 2 in 1 right there. Great job, Sami Idrisi. Sticks it for now, but Thomas Sivas tries to hang around the outside. Looked like there was contact made on the exit right there, but they managed to hold it together. Adam Dowling now chasing Niall Murray, and just ahead of them is Martin Moore and Sinkevicius Here comes Petkevicius on the inside of Thomas Sebas in towards Indianapolis at the end of the main straight, excuse me, and Petkevicius makes his way through, almost hits Sami Idrissi, almost collects him. Sebas now gets the cutback on the way out, so a fantastic scrap going on here for the tail end, or the mid, we could say definitely the midfield. So Sebas makes his way through once again, ahead of Petkevicius. And Sami Idrissi will now try to catch up to the battle in front of him. And you can see Adam Dowling having a real thing. 10. We just see him there. This is for P11, excuse me. Up ahead of them is Marty Moore and Sinkevicius, who are battling for P9. And there's Sami Idrissi with a mistake. Thomas Sebas going to try and come around the outside here. Idrissi with the outside line. Adam Dowling made a mistake as well. They're now 3 abreast, heading towards the Porsche cars. They managed to sort themselves out a little bit there. Sebas is ahead of Sami Idrissi. Petkevicius is just behind him. But Idrissi's now going to come back at Sebas here towards the Porsche curves. Petkevicius is looking to the outside now, trying to find some room. He moves to the inside of the Porsche curves, has a go on the brakes as well. And that's a nice move from Petkevicius as well. He gets past Idrissi into the Porsche curves. And this battle is certainly not over. Now the battle up front, we do have one. Thomas Series and Colin Bayes going at it towards turn 1. This is the battle for second place on track right here. Series manages to keep himself in front of Colin Bayes for now, but Keith Dempsey nearly 14 seconds up the road now. Front. Got to keep an eye on this battle. The Series made a mistake. He's got to cut the chicane. Razanauskas has also made his way past Colin Bayes as well. So can he pick up 2 positions here? So a mistake from the 2 Ferraris. The Porsche now trying to pick up the pieces. Now we'll have some confidence trying to pick up second place from Thomas Series here. Here he comes. Niall Quinn's lurking in the background as well. It's wide from all of them now. Colin Bayes is going to have a good run on Razanauskas now. He's alongside him already, and he'll have the slipstream off of the Ferrari of Thomas Series. So here they go, neck and neck down the straight. They might go 3 abreast here. Colin Bayes has now got to try and get past Thomas Series on the way through. He's got past Razanauskas, but now can he get Thomas Series on the brakes? He's on the inside line. He might have a pop here. On the brakes he goes, has to think about it. But Series is later on the brakes than him. As this battle continues. And Niall Quinn is closing in the background. Now, the second chicane. Series is on the outside. Colin Bayes moves to that inside line. Razanauskas stays put. Neck and neck they go. And looks like Bayes is ahead already as they head into chicane. Razanauskas might pick it up as well. Not quite. So Colin Bayes is through to second place once again, where he spun from earlier. He's run wide as well, just as I said that. But he keeps himself in check. But that might have cost him his run on the way down towards the end of this straight. So can Series come back at him? Here they go, and Razanauskas is in that train too. Here comes Razanauskas then, they're almost 3 abreast. Razanauskas moves to the inside, can he get 2 in 1? He's having a go on the inside of Colin Bayes as well. He gets past 1, can he get past 2? Almost, there is contact made. Now they're 3 abreast as they're in Indianapolis, huge accident. Colin Bayes off, Razanauskas off, Thomas Series is off as well. And that's the second place after that contact. Colin Bayes is left standing in the wall, big damage in that Ferrari. And that is a really unfortunate accident. Razanauskas tried a move that wasn't really on there and just caught the back of Colin Bayes, spun him round, and Thomas Series got involved too. But now Niall Quinn has made his way through into second place after that. Thomas Series is still running around in P3. Razanauskas is P4. But after all of that, Davey Yamamoto and Jordan Kelly are up to P5 and 6 right now. Sergei Grabham's made his way past into P7 as well. There is big damage on Colin Bayes' car. And what a great battle that was up until that point. Keep an eye on this battle as well. Here, Sami Idrissi and Thomas Sebas still going at it here through Indianapolis. Sebas trying to get the run on him here. Move to the inside, have a go on the brakes. Idrissi leaves in the... Continuing on towards the Porsche curves then. No move on for them just yet. So at the moment then, your top 10, Keith Dempsey leads from Niall Quinn, Thomas Series Edgaras Razanauskas, Davey Yamamoto, Jordan Kelly, Sergei Gravin, Colin Bays after his accident is now P8, Benedictas Sinkevicius is P9, and Martin Moore is P10. Just outside the top 10 then you have Niall Murray, Adam Dowling, Sammy Idrisi, Thomas Sebas, Linus Petkevicius, Nicky Meredith, Olivier Van Herk, Talis Aganauskas, James Holman, Peter McCann, Chris Bays, Evan Walsh, Tony Stack, Ronan Haderman, Eddie Connolly, Charlie Eastwood, Navicus, Gintaras Stepkevicius, Montero, Ian Malone, Rob O'Neill, Brad O'Neans, Nathan Healy, David Sheehan, Zugas Zukauskas, Jonas Firavicius, then Conor Murphy, James Dowling, and Stephen Norman. And down the back, I'm not sure those guys are running still. But now we've got a tasty battle here, because Adam Dowling, now because of Colin Bays in the pit lane, this is the battle for P10. Niall Murray, Adam Dowling, Sammy Idrisi, and Thomas Sebas. And there goes Adam Dowling with a little dive to the inside. That'll cost him a bit of a run, but he manages to keep himself ahead of Sammy Idrisi for now. Through they go once again. 36 minutes gone. Not long left at all. Only 9 minutes left. We've had loads of battling throughout this 40-car field. Some incredible battles. That's what we love to see. And I just believe, let's go back to the front, because I believe Razanauskas has just made the move for third place. And now Davey Yamamoto is well within a shot of a podium all of a sudden. Jordan Kelly lurking in the background too. So plenty to go on, but we'll still keep our eye on this Adam Dowling and Sammy Idrisi battle. Kane, and he's made that work, but he's gone a bit wide. Adam Dowling will have the run on him on the way out. He'll now have the inside line for the second chicane. And now Thomas Sebas is well in with it as well. And lurking in the background is Petkevicius and Nicky Meredith too, so there's still plenty to happen here. So Adam Dowling now on the inside of Sammy Idrisi. Can he make this move stick? Sammy Idrisi will try and make it work around the outside. Onto the brakes they go. Sammy Idrisi very late on the brakes, hangs it around the outside, but now it compromises run. Adam Dowling up the inside, Sammy Idrisi running wide, and that will have cost him. Thomas Sebas is through. That's one of the lapped cars going through, just getting lapped right there. One of the Ferraris we haven't seen. And now so that puts Adam Dowling up into P11, chasing after Niall Murray. And you can see the rear end damage on the back of Sammy Idrisi's car. And Thomas Sebas now having a go on Adam Dowling. Too far. Oh, Adam Dowling's off at the end of the straight into the gravel, completely locked up. Sammy Idrisi takes that position back. And now Petkevicius and Nicky Meredith are very much in this fight for P10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 cars in this fight for 10th place. As they continue once again. Now can Petkevicius pick up some pieces from Adam Dowling. He's looking on the inside into Indianapolis. Nicky Meredith looking for any opportunity as well. Here is Sammy Idrisi as well, chasing these guys. I think a good view would be on board with Petkevicius as he chases after this total chaos ahead of him. You can see the noise of this amazing Porsche as he chases after Adam Dowling and Sammy Idrisi ahead of him, as well as Thomas Sebas and Niall Murray. He's also going to be watching his mirrors for Nicky Meredith, who's right behind him too. This goes a bit wide and he spun it in the Porsche curves. That's going to be a big one involving Nicky Meredith too. Off he goes. We just got an on board of that one. So just as I was saying, they were chasing each other very well. Petkevicius loses it in the Porsche curves and takes Nicky Meredith with him. Manages to continue just about, but that'll be front end damage for Nicky Meredith, and damage around here means so much. David Yamamoto missed that move, but he's P3 now. He's up into the podium slots. So a great recovery from him. Thomas Sears is now back in P5. Jordan Kelly might pick up the pieces from him, and there he goes. Through goes Jordan Kelly. You can see there's damage on the front of Thomas Sears' car. That'll be from the contact with Colin Bays earlier, but he's just dropping back now as a result. Sergei Gravin, you can just see him in the background. There's a big gap between those guys, between the top 5. Sinkevicius there in P8. Martin Moore now P9 as a result, and now Niall Murray. Murray, Sivas, Idrissi, Dowling and Meredith has dropped back as a result. But there's still plenty going on here. There's only 5 minutes of this session remaining. Who's going to come out on top in this battle? Thomas Sivas looking threatening for P10. So Thomas Sivas continues on his way, trying to chase down Niall Murray for P10. Up ahead of them is Martin Moore. There's still nothing between those guys just yet. Further down, let's see if there's any other battles going on. The field's quite spread out as a result. There is, that's not Colin Bays, that is a lapped car. That's Evan Walsh is trying to make his way past. There is Chris Bays behind him, then Tony Stack. Further down, not sure what happened to these guys. Charlie Eastwood all the way down at 28th place, battling with Joe Montana. So he's in P28 and 29. So all these guys you would expect to be further up the grid. Dave Sheehan, P35. There is Niall Murray and Thomas Sivas battling it out. A big contact at the end of the straight. How have they held that together? Niall Murray keeps his foot in it. Keeps himself ahead in P9. That was a big one. But somehow Niall Murray manages to get the car straight again and keeps his P10. Thomas Sivas has also just managed to keep himself intact as well. But now Sami Idrissi going to try for P10 onto the inside at the end of the long straight. Thinks better of it. And they continue to circle around. Thomas Sivas almost ending his own race and Niall Murray's race in a big contact right there. But they continue on now. Sami Idrissi looking for a move. Past Niall Murray, moves to the out. Martin Moore is ahead of them. Sami Idrissi is already ahead as they come towards Indianapolis. But of course, Niall Murray will have the inside line, but Sami Idrissi is ahead as they come through Indianapolis, so a great move from him. Niall Murray continues. Adam Dowling behind him, and Thomas Sivas after that contact with Niall Murray. They both somehow managed to continue. Sami Idrissi with a mistake, and here comes Niall Murray, and once again he'll have the inside for the Porsche curves, and as well as that Adam Dowling got the slipstream off him. So Niall Murray trying again on Sami Idrissi onto the inside line for the Porsche curves. It'll be very difficult for Sami Idrissi to hang this around the outside of the Porsche curves, but I think he's going to give it a real go anyway. But Niall Murray is ahead. Thomas Sivas trying on the inside of Adam Dowling, can't quite make it work. But these guys are fighting fiercely for P10. That's why we love to see the battles that are going on right here, mid-pack. So we don't really have long to go at all. See, these guys are just inseparable. They're all within a second of each other. Oh, Adam Dowling had to think about it with the inside of Sami Idrissi there. That'll compromise his run to the four chicanes. Here comes Sami Idrissi on Niall Murray then once again, already alongside out of the four chicanes. And in the background you'll see Adam Dowling going defensive versus Thomas Sivas. So they're 2 by 2 as they come towards turn 1. Niall Murray left the inside line for turn 1, hangs around the outside. Thomas Sivas trying on the inside of two cars. That is a brave move contact made between himself and Sami Idrissi. Still trying to work themselves out. Thomas Sivas now on the outside. They run down towards the bottom of the hill. Sami Idrissi on the inside line. Sivas around the outside. Adam Dowling up the inside of Sami Idrissi, and just like that, Sami Idrissi losing 3 positions in a very short space of time, and that's how quickly it can change. Idrissi, and I don't think he's going to be best pleased about that. But Niall Murray comes out ahead of all that carnage. Meanwhile, having a Sunday drive out front is Keith Dempsey, and I believe this is going to be his final lap, because 44:40 on the clock, and he's just coming to the end of the long straight. So he's been he's 25 seconds ahead of Niall Quinn and Dave Yamamoto, who has managed to come through the P3. And just mentioned, well, Jordan Kelly has managed to actually get past Razanauskas, so he's made that move into P4. Great result for him, that'd be. Aganauskas, and what just happened to, I believe, Colin Bays just disappeared off the timing screens. And Colin Bays is unfortunately out of this race in the dying moments. In the early part of this race. But out front it is Keith Dempsey, who's been untroubled all race. Colin Bays tried his best, but ultimately he tried too hard. And Keith has led from pole. No issues whatsoever. Just got to negotiate a couple of final corners. Adam Dowling and Thomas Siebes are still battling as well with Niall Murray. So we might have to keep an eye on that battle as well, because that is absolutely chaotic as Siebes and Adam Dowling are trying to work themselves out coming towards Indianapolis. We have to, of course, keep our eye on Keith Dempsey. He's going to be crossing the line to win this race very shortly. But Adam Dowling and Thomas Siebes towards Indianapolis. Adam Dowling's on the outside line. Sami Idrissi also hanging in there. Niall Murray, his position is not secure just yet. So Adam Dowling trying to hang it around the outside. Not going to quite work through there. He might have the inside line for the next corner. Not quite. Now back to Keith Dempsey. He's coming through from him through the Ford chicane. Keith Dempsey wins the opening round of the VRA GTE Pro Championship in Le Mans. Flawless drive from him. Nobody could challenge him. Niall Quinn, I think he's going to be very, very pleased with P2, considering he picked it up after all of the carnage that unfolded in front of him. So he's coming through the Corvette chicane and in through the Ford chicane for the last time. Makes a mistake, actually, but he's so far ahead it won't make any difference. Niall Quinn takes P2 in Le Mans. And Davey Yamamoto is going to be very pleased with P3 at recovery drive to P3. And Jordan Kelly will take P4. Razanauskas is going to come across in P5, rear wing damage on him. Thomas Series, he just about keeps ahead of Sergei Grabin. He's P7. Sinkevicius will come across in P8. 9. Then who has come in front? Niall Murray has managed to hold on to that P10 ahead of Adam Dowling, ahead of Thomas Siebes, and ahead of Nicky Meredith that comes across in P13. Petkevicius is going to come across the line in P14 after his spin. Olivier Van Herk will come across the line in P15. Tadas Aganauskas P16. James Holman in P17 in the only Ford. Evan Walsh will come across in P18. He spins in the last corner, actually, does Evan Walsh. There's contact made between two cars right there. Chris Bays is going to take a position on the line. He comes through to P18. Contact, with, I believe, between Peter McCann and Evan Walsh. Interesting stuff right there. Tony Stack P21. Ronan Haderman going to come through to P22. Coast across the line in P22. Eddie Conley waiting for him to come through in the Martini liveried BMW. It'd be P23 for him. Navikus step with Gintaris behind him. So he comes across the line in P24, 25th for Stapasievas, and then Charlie Eastwood all the way down in P26. We expect him to be a little bit further up in the future, but he comes across the line in P26 then. Ian Malone, we're going to wait for him to come across in P27. Just behind him we have Joe Montero. So the number 666 on Ian Malone's car, he comes across in P27. It'll be P28 for Montero, or it won't actually, because Brad O'Neill's going to steal that one away from him on the last corner. So Brad comes through to take P28 in the last corner. Montero P29. Daniel Steinman in P30. Then we're just waiting for Rob O'Neill. Healy then to come across the line in P32. And I believe he may be the last of the classified finishers. So he comes across the line. And I believe that's all said and done for the opening round of the VRA GTE Pro Series. So fantastic action throughout in that race. 40 cars on track means for some chaos in some cases, but it was indeed Keith Dempsey, who came out on top in the end, ahead of Niall Quinn and David Yamamoto. So, fantastic race. You can definitely hope for some more of that with 40 cars on track at once. Fantastic opening round, and we hope. Yeah, for two weeks' time for the next round of the VRA GTE Pro Series. We'll be back next week with Assetto Corsa, the GT Team Cup, which had some fantastic racing last week. We'll hope to see even more of that in the future. And definitely hope to see, of course, the same size grid in the next round of the iRacing Series. 40 cars on track at once. Can't take your eye off the ball for once. But that is going to be it from us for this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for round 2 of the VRA GTE Pro Championship. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.